Hey, what's up? It's AM Trades, and this is day 7 of the Nothing to 1 Million in Funded series on the channel. And this is a trade recap as well for the 7th of May 2024. So this morning, we took two longs on the NASDAQ, and one of them was a break even, and one of them was a winner. I will get into that and how I made a big mistake today on the live funded account, actually. And so yeah, no, that one, it actually, yeah, I'll get into that. But yeah, so today was a Tuesday, no news Tuesday, which is quite rare. I believe this week is the least amount of news for the entire month of May, which means that is also for me personally in my system the worst the worst week this month to trade. Lowest probability conditions, low news, low volatility. What else? There's less fundamental stuff going into the back of every single trade idea, right? But yeah, with that being said, we can definitely get into the trades that we took today. So here on the 5 minute, you can kind of see this is the first one and this is the second one. I can kind of extend these take profits as they were higher and up into this 4-hour imbalance. But if we just start on the higher time frame here on the 4-hour, we can see that we tapped into the NFP. So this is the NFP candle. We tapped in and mitigated it pre-market. So I wanted to see longs. Of course, I was bullish. Okay. And the same on the, here, if we go to the S&P 500, you can see the exact same thing, right? So we had a mitigation of the NFP candle, and then we saw moves to the upside, right? So we were bullish, okay? And I also wanted to see, and also on the daily, we inversed this bearish fair value gap. So as soon as we inversed this bearish fair value gap, I was looking for a continuation to the upside, potentially to these all-time highs, right? But for the time being, the drawn liquidity was this 4-hour imbalance, okay? So this was kind of going to be my final take profit for today, as well as these equal highs on NASDAQ. I wanted to see us at least come up here and turtle soup this, take this as liquidity before seeing a move to the downside, okay? So that's what we were looking for. We also had an hourly SMT to the upside between both the indices. If we look here, pre-market, we can see that NASDAQ swept this high. If we mark this in here, NASDAQ took this low while the S&P left it as liquidity. Okay, so an hourly SMT, we're already bullish. We saw mitigation, hourly SMT. So now we go down on the 15-minute. What I saw was for the first entry, this 15-minute for value gap aligned with the OTE level, so 0.618 Fibonacci level of this entire hourly range, right? So all the pre-market range as well as the low put in from this SMT. And so we saw a tap into this OTE level. It also came into discount of our midnight and 8 p.m. Midnight and 6 p.m. opening price. And so I longed from here and I was looking to target first these highs. Okay. And then what ended up happening on this one is I entered on the 4 accounts, right? So my 3 evals and then my live account. And because of that, I got filled kind of variously around here. And so I ended up getting stopped at break even a little bit below where, a little bit above, like a little bit in profit due to the way that I had my stops positioned. And then it did end up running all the way to TP1, which is fine. It's whatever. It's a break even trade. Okay. And then we also got a re-entry here on the NASDAQ on this 1 minute for value gap. So price came back down and took us out of break even, but we did come back into OTE, respected our new daily opening gap as well as our 6 p.m. open, right? So I was still looking for longs and I thought longs were going to be valid because we hadn't taken this set of relative equal highs either. So we came down into this 1 minute for value gap. I longed. I would have my stops here. I just didn't have them here because that's only 92 pips and managing 4 accounts on 92 pips is not fun. So I set my stops below this 5-minute low. And then this came up, hit TP1 quite quickly at these relative equal highs. And then we chopped around. So we chopped around for a couple of hours actually. And I was expecting to actually see the 2 p.m. manipulation to the downside and then see us move up higher. However, we left this high and then we took all this liquidity out and then saw moves to the downside. So what I should have done is adjusted this take profit, which was at a 15-minute fair value gap. I should have adjusted it to here and then taken profit when we swept these highs. However, I did not, and that is kind of the first issue when it came to the live funded account because I was wanting to hold it all the way up to this high, right? So I didn't take any partials on the live, but I did on the eval, so we did still make money today. But so that got stopped out at break even. We had a really big dump actually on the 15-minute. There's definitely something external about this because this is not a normal candle and we had no news today. So Biden probably said something, or there was probably some kind of fundamental news that came out, something happening in the Middle East potentially, or China or something like that. And we saw this dump and that took us out of break even. Really, any other day, this would have come down, Mega did this, and then Turtle souped and went to the high. But it's whatever, we play it month to month, year to year, not day to day, So yeah, with that being said, those are the trade recaps for today. And I made the PNLs on my Instagram. You guys can go and check that out at am_life, LYFE. And then the big mistake that I made this morning was I tried to take a re-entry on this original position. So where was I? Yeah, so I was longing. Okay, so I longed initially from here, right? With stops below wherever they were, and then take profit all the way at this high. Okay, and so I wanted to take a re-entry, right? Because I saw that we had flipped bullish. We had inversed this 1 minute for value gap, so we took this high. And then see how balanced price action is all throughout here, and then the only for value gap we create is here. So I placed limits here. I wanted to long, and then I had my stops. Where were they? My stop was, I believe, right here. I think here. And then I was trying to long to this high as well. So this would have doubled my RR. However, this was a really aggressive move down. And during the entire move down, I wasn't able to place a stop loss yet. So I ended up losing 2% on my live funded account, which means that we are now in drawdown a little bit. So it was at 101,000 and you're eligible for payout next Tuesday. So now it is at 98,000, which is fine. It's whatever. It's just a kind of silly loss and I will learn from it definitely. But that is definitely something that I was quite frustrated with. And then we got stopped out at break even. So that account is pretty much break even for the day. But every other one of the evals is up, I think, 0.75% because we took profits here and then got stopped out at break even. But with that being said, it's not a terrible day. I do think that mistake definitely needs to be reviewed and gone over later in my trading journal as well, and to avoid and set a proper plan in my trading journal for re-entries to double my risk and also double my reward, so that we can avoid things like that happening in the future. But with that being said, going on to the rest of the week, we do have news, which is very nice for volatility. If we go to Forex Factory here and have a look, we can see that we have a bond auction tomorrow, so this is going to bring a little bit of volatility even though it's in PM session. And then unemployment claims on Thursday and Friday consumer sentiment, which is going to be good for our volatility and what we want to see in the market. But yeah, with that being said, that is all for the nothing too funded journey. Right now, all three of the evals are at about break even. And then we have one that is up about 0.5%, and then one that is up 0.3%, so pretty much break even, and then one of them that is down 1% because we bought it and then immediately took a loss, and they were kind of staggered. But yeah, so we have 600K in evals right now being passed, two $200,000 accounts from Funded X, and then I also picked up over the weekend a $200,000 one-of-one funding account because they were offering a 25% discount. All the details to that is on my TikTok. You guys should definitely go have a look. That was a great deal for a great prop firm. They offer 100% payouts. So yeah, with that being said, on to tomorrow. We're going to take more R out of the markets, make our percentages for the month, for the year, and then we'll see where it takes us. See ya.